here with Keith Granderson for another segment of our Grind Pray interview series. So Keith, you are going to share a little bit more about your grind and pray. What's that message mean to you?
First, grind and pray, the message means to me a whole lot. I'm born with cerebral palsy, born 3 months premature, went through a lot growing up, learning how to walk. I didn't start walking until I was 6 years old. So really my grind and pray is just basically trusting God, letting God order my steps, being a go-getter that way, and whatever God puts in front of me, I know I got to go get.
Awesome. So what are some examples of that? So you didn't start walking until you were 6 years old.
Yep.
Okay, so for those of us that don't know what cerebral palsy is, can you educate us real quick?
Cerebral palsy is, it has a lot to do with the development at birth. 1 in 17,000 children have cerebral palsy. Cerebral palsy can be affected through the leg strength, through some can be wheelchair bound. It's basically like being paralyzed, but it could be at a major point and it could be at a mild point. My cerebral palsy affects my left side, and it was kind of one of those things that being premature, it comes from premature birth as well. Being 3 months premature, my mother had me at 27 weeks, so it was one of those things that they didn't know, but through a lot of testing and keeping me in the hospital and going through a lot of different tests, like they had to take my eyes out, they had to put tubes all over my body to really figure out. And as time went on, that's when they diagnosed me with cerebral palsy.
Wow, they had to take your eyes out? What did they do?
My mother said that they pulled my eyes out of the socket and they like went behind my eyes just to see, to do tests to see what was the cause of everything that when I was 3 months premature. Because she was getting ready to have, she said I was getting ready to come out feet first.
Wow.
So they had to literally go in and do a C-section on her so that I wouldn't come out feet first. Yeah.
Awesome. So so the message obviously means a lot to you. I mean, every day is a grind.
Every day is a grind. Some days are harder than others, but I tell people that my motto is there's somebody going through something worse than you are.
Yeah, absolutely. I held on to that too. You just took me back to that where, earlier on, I would think about like the worst thing that was happening to me at that moment, and just like there's got to be somebody out here that's going through something worse, and that kind of helped me put things in perspective.
Yeah, and perspective is one thing. My mother always says to me that I always see the good in every situation. I have to, because through all that I've been through, I have to see the good in every situation, because at the end of the day, God's gonna take care of the rest.
I was just about to ask you that, the pray part. So you obviously sound like a man of God.
Yes.
Do you preach?
Yes, I am a licensed minister. I've been preaching since I was 19 years old.
Okay, cool.
2011 is when November 13th, 2011 is when I started preaching. Been preaching ever since, and that's my thing. I got to do for other people. You know what I mean? I'm a community go-getter. I'm a community fighter. I believe in community, and if it's not about the community, why are we here? I believe the youth of our community and the community as a whole. Why do we do what we do?
Absolutely. So you are originally from Petersburg or Dinwiddie?
I'm originally from Chesterfield, but my dad's family is from Petersburg. Okay. And a lot of my mom's friends are from Petersburg, so the Petersburg connection, it's there. You know what I mean? I'm a 2017 graduate of Virginia State University, majored in criminal justice.
I was gonna ask you that. Okay.
Yeah. So.
Why criminal justice?
Why criminal justice? I get this a lot. Because at the moment that I wanted to do criminal justice, my mind was focused on the young people. I believe in recidivism. I believe in rehabilitation. Before you lock somebody up, or as they say, put them into a juvenile facility, rehabilitate. You know what I mean? Recidivism is what we need. The kids need recidivism, and if we don't believe in recidivism, they're gonna go out here.
Tell us what recidivism is.
Recidivism is something that when they keep going through and offending over and over again, and you want to be able to rehabilitate them so they won't reoffend again, doing the same crime twice.
Right.
I mean, that's why some of our young people today are just locked up because they don't have that guidance and that somebody telling them, I don't need to go reoffend. Let me not go out here and commit that same crime because I'm gonna get the same. May not get the smack on the hand the second time.
So you were sharing with me, I mean, you definitely have a long career ahead of you in social work and ministry. You're an educator. So what's the end goal? What does that big picture look like for you?
My end goal is always I wanted to be a superintendent.
Okay.
Want to be a superintendent to be able to help those educators, especially dealing with special ed, special education. I want to help the young people that's dealing with special education, especially the ones that look like me.
Okay.
To look like me, to be able to help them get what they need so that they can move forward in life.
What would you, if you were the superintendent, I'm going to ask you this way, because my brother was in special ed. He's going to hate me for sharing this. He's not special ed though. He had a learning disability where, they labeled him as ADHD or ADD or whatever. My father refused to put him on medicine.
Yes.
And then older, we lived next door to the special ed teacher, and she's like, if you will put him in our program, we'll make sure that he finishes high school. And he ended up, being a high school dropout. But, when he was in special ed, because it was a smaller classroom, able to get attention, he was doing dramatically better. So if you were the superintendent, what would you like to see when it comes to special education reform?
When it comes to special education reform, I would like to see a lot of, like you said, one-on-one working with the students, because a lot of them, they just pass them along and they say, oh, we're going to label them with this or we're going to label them with that. No, let's not stop labeling. Let's get down to the nitty-gritty. Let's get down to the bottom to see what the cause of what the child may be going through.
So did you experience that?
Yes, firsthand. Because I was in special ed due to my cerebral palsy, due to my disability. They said I was ADHD too because I couldn't focus, and honestly, I got distracted very easily being in the classroom. But I overcame all of that. As you can see, like I said, I'm a high school graduate, a college graduate, currently working on a master's. I'll start seminary school in September.
So we definitely know that your faith played a huge component in that, but what was most instrumental about helping you overcome, or who was instrumental in you not falling into the system and just being labeled disabled
When you have a strong family foundation, shout out to my mother. My mother was one that really pushed me. Even though I had a disability, my mother never allowed my disability to get me down, and that's one thing about me. I never considered that being disabled.
Right.
My mother always told me, she was like, if you make a wrong mistake, you got to deal with the consequence. I'm not going to be able to save you because you're disabled. She said, because, if you go out in the world and do it, they're going to, you know what I mean? Just because you're disabled, that don't mean nothing. And that's one thing that I've always took with me as I maneuvered through life, that I never looked at myself being disabled. Never looked at myself being disabled. Never let people look at me being disabled. Just always got that past me, and I still did what I wanted to do. Still made maneuvers the way I wanted to make maneuvers, and I overcame a whole lot.
It seems like it. So when you, I love you using that word of maneuvering, because, obviously things that we take for granted, the motion of our hands, our limbs, those things, require a lot of contemplation for you. So what type of, or I have two questions. First being, what was the probably worst experience you've had where someone may have assumed they could treat you any kind of way and you may have had to correct them, like, that you can recall?
I've never had to really endure that.
Okay, great.
Because I was always I was an advocate.
Okay.
That's one thing that my mother taught me.
Okay.
I'm not gonna always be around you.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna always be with you. You got to speak up for yourself.
Awesome.
And that's one thing. People would. My mother would come to the school. They'll be like, one thing about Keith, he can surely advocate for himself. He can surely tell us what he needs. She said, because that's what I told him growing up. I'm not gonna always be with you. I'm not gonna always be around you. You got to be able to tell people what you need. Tell people how you gonna get it. She said, because I'm not. I mean, we all got to go through. She said, I'm not gonna always be here.
Yeah.
You gotta know. You have to take care of you.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's one thing that my mother set me and my brother both up to do, is to be able to take care of ourselves.
Awesome. And I believe she did a great job. So my second question was, what do you say to the young man or woman watching this that may not have your fighting spirit? They may be really down on themselves, depressed, angry at the world because they weren't born like everybody else. I mean, you didn't have a choice. It's not like you got in a car accident or something happened. Like you were born, and like you said, maneuvering what God gave you. So what do you say to that person?
What I say to that person is, man, keep your head up. I mean, keep your head up, keep fighting. Don't give up, because if you throw in the towel, that could be it. And that's one thing that I have not done and will not do. I can't throw in the towel. I can't just stop quitting, because some days are harder than others. And I know most people are wondering, oh, he really ain't got in the corner and cried and died. I mean, because that's probably what people expect with being in my situation. Mm-hmm. Nah, I can't do that. I'm always moving. I'm always going. I'm always doing, trying to help other people be successful, because at the end of the day, I got to give back to what was given to me.
Mm-hmm. That's your purpose.
That's my purpose, and yeah, that is my purpose in life, to be able to help those that was, to give back, mm-hmm. and to be able to get them to get young people where they need to be, because somebody had to help me get there.
Absolutely. That's an awesome message. Someone helped him first, and now he is dedicating his life to helping others, specifically those who have special needs. Okay, so what do you want to leave us with this message of Grind, Pray? With your story, what can they expect from you? What should we know?
Got me sit up on that. Just know that this is not the end. This is not the end that they'll be hearing from me. This is not the end that they'll be seeing me. More things are on the horizon. More things are gonna come down the pipeline. Mm-hmm. But this won't be it. Okay. This won't be it. I'm grateful. I'm grateful to be able to sit and tell my story, mm-hmm. to let somebody else know that no matter what you go through, there's still somebody else that's going through something worse than you are. No
matter what you go through, there's somebody else that's going through something worse. So please be grateful. Remember to grind, pray. And until next time, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Bye. People like grind, pray, grind, pray.